Remember, Cannabis was supposed to be like the new greatest lyricist
him,
out.
right?
You know what I mean?
He's supposed to be him.
Yeah.
Till he ran up against that microphone and that arm. It was different.
No,
that battle was different. You know what I'm saying?
It was different. So now the boy, now Drake got all of the blogs posting all of this sassy, aggressive stuff, caution signs, nuclear bomb shelter things, and everything.
All types of man.
It's coming tonight. You know what I mean? It's coming tonight.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Shout out to everybody. I haven't had a time to shout y'all out, but shout out to everybody with the super chats. Just been in my zone talking to Red and Blue. It's been a great show. We
$1 million question.
Dropping. Yes.
Because we both know these ladies' men, right? They Galchesters.
Yes.
What song goes up against I Need Love? Because that's when he comes out his shit. You know what I mean? What song does Drake have? And I'm talking about I Need Love, melting the paint off the wall. I'm listen.
I'm gonna find your loving. I'm gonna set my on. What's the high go? Family, tell me what's the name of that one?
Is that Passion?
No, that's not that one.
What can he sing with his shirt off? What is it? The braids? What can he sing with his shirt off?
Is it Find Your Love?
Find Your Love. There you go.
Yeah, might have been that, but no, I get what you're saying though. I get
bling. Even Hotline Bling with the dance and everything to go with it up against I Need Love. There goes your answer.
I better find your love. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying though, Red. I mean, shit, 5, 4, 3. I mean, this man, there's some tracks LL got. But I mean, they're both in the same lane. But you know, like you said, I agree that LL's energy is probably the deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? I think that, he
believes it.
Yeah,
Drake took a while to believe what he was rapping.
Yeah, indeed.
You know,
do you think that with okay, so we're saying Drake is an actor, right? Well, I'm not saying y'all saying I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I hear people's points, and y'all might be right. I think y'all might be right to a certain extent.
Right. I'm saying
what I want to know is if you're an actor and you feeding off other people's energy, right? Say you feeding off other people's energy to try to act a certain way, culture vulturing or whatever. Yeah. You remove the energy from him. Rick Ross gets removed from him. Whoever, everybody he's beefing with, Kanye gets removed from him. Or most of these rappers slowly but surely get removed from Drake. Can Drake still reproduce the energy that he has been producing in hip hop for the past 10 years? Can he still produce that without these black melanated beings around him? Does his energy completely change because he's not around these individuals no more? How does this thing work energetically speaking?
Where's that nigga from Memphis that was doing the juke? Woo, Block Boy JB. He gonna have to find all of these C and D rappers. He gonna have to scrape the bottom of the barrel and just hit him with the stimulus package, because that is a great question that you asked, my good brother. Mm-hmm. They were accusing this man of the stimulus package, giving all of these men number ones. Right. And they were being facetious because they did not say what Drake received in return.
Good point.
Album Billboard said that there was a trade-off to go number one on Billboard with Lil Durk. Please believe. There was a trade-off to ride with Rick Ross at the height of his career when you couldn't walk through Carroll City. You couldn't even go to Club Live and run around Miami the way that you ran around them. You aligned yourself with people who gave you a visa for those features and whatnot. That's what you was sharing with people. Future gave you a visa to Magic City. He gave you a work visa to Follies and whatnot. He gave you a work visa. You got a work visa to New York City by rocking with the right people and whatnot. You got a work visa to come to Atlanta for rocking with Thugger Thugger and them. That's what you got.
Remember, ain't he honorary Dipset? They said
that's what New York gave him, honorary Dipset by doing what?
Blue, you're right.
By putting them on. By bigging them up, by giving them a resuscitation, and that had to do with Weezy and whatnot. Weezy's relationship with them, it just trickled over to Homie. So
so you know this shit
it's street
multi-tiered.
cred.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Blue. What somebody who is selling #1 albums but is getting peed on, somebody that's selling #1 albums but can't really get right with the ladies like that, somebody who's going #1 but he's wild awkward when you bring him around. What will he set? What is his ultimate goal? To be accepted, to let the braids grow, to be cool, to fit in. You know what I mean? So what did they give him? They gave him the pass. So he can never say about, oh, I gave you your first #1. The way that my metrics work, that pass is worth more than that #1, fam. How about that? Because they could take your #1 shit away from you, but when you get your hood pass revoked, my nigga, and you got a no-fly zone in certain areas, that's a bad feeling.
Yeah,
that's a bad feeling. So, nah, I don't want to hear it. It was a trade-off, fair exchange, no robbery.
I mean, yeah, like, and when I think about it, because you know we're mentioning how many people he has hits with, and then we're thinking about the level of entitlement or selfishness. How many of them were featured on the tour? Is he extending opportunities for these people to shine and to eat with these features? Or they skipping all of them songs? Nobody's getting a check for none of these appearances and these tours? Cause that's a lot of songs. Like I'm thinking about everybody he done collab with ain't rocking with him. It is everybody. Like all of them hits is gone. So I'm like, what type of show, like what type of performances you gonna have? Because who's gonna show up for you now? But you got the industry behind your back. You got the executives. You got your
bloggers.
you got the bloggers. You're gonna have some young women, and then it's gonna be, they're causing that aspect of the women questioning, like, yo, because he was going after Ice Spice and she blew him up. She's like, yo, he was a lame and she didn't give him the box. And that's why she feel that she got cut. That's what he been trying to do all along. But it's like, a lot of these women are showing up to be very young women. You know what I mean? And homie don't know how to deal with rejection. It's the level, once again, of entitlement that he exemplifies, that it is almost the energy that you get from them people. You feel me? So you can move around stepping on whatever you want to step on, acting in an immoral nature, right? Again, you throwing that up as your gang, but you're not abiding by the tenets of what that means as a spiritual system or religion.
Indeed.
You dropping dishes on the Sabbath, bro. Come
You
on.
know, earlier we brought up the shout out to everybody in the chat. We got over 2,200 people in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's been an amazing show so far. If you came in late, you definitely should watch the whole show at a later time. You might not want to rewind now, but I definitely advise you to watch the show in its entirety. We just been going in from the jump. Thank Red and Blue once again for coming on the platform. This is their third week in a row on the platform. It almost feels like 2016 again or something like that.
Yes,
what I want to ask y'all, we started out the show with the controversy of who should or should not say the N-word, and biracial people being triggered by Kendrick implying that Drake can't say it anymore because of him being biracial, even though he never used the word biracial. Then we also talked about the foundation of hip hop. What I want to ask you, I'm just curious, how do you feel this hip hop culture growing up in America, in the hip hop culture? How do you feel about Hispanics using the N-word?
Again, my observation and my response to the first question was, it was not a biracial issue or a race issue. I think that conversation has already been qualified. That we know that people that are racially ambiguous, as well as people who share and participate in aspects of the culture with us, they also conform to that identity, because we all been thrown in that, when it comes time to get thrown in that pot and you look around, that's the people in the pot with you. That's the people that they trying to pee on in the pot. So a New York Puerto Rican utilizing that terminology is a little bit more for me understood again, because then it changes for me on the West Coast. Hearing a Mexican say it, it's a little bit more
Different,
aggressive
right?
because it might come with a disrespect that's intended
With an
Mm,
ER.
because they want that smoke, right?
mm,
And because there's a contention over there. There's not really, it wasn't necessarily a contention over here until you got to jail. And then there was a separation. Even if y'all was cool on the street, when you got behind the wall in New York, the Nietas was over there and the Latin Kings was over there, and you was over where you was at, and y'all couldn't connect anyway. So there was divisions, there was caused based on separation from, being part of that, being in the system within the system, and then it spills into the street. So that was orchestrated because within hip hop, what we witnessed early in the Bronx is that there was a connection, and there was a oneness, and they were there at the inception, and they did have a role in the participation because it was culture or it was subculture for that fact. Because like I said, we're calling things culture, but if we understand the definition of culture, by definition, it's really not a culture. We do not control the main tenants, specifically the commerce, you know. Um, but yes, I do think
got you,
that
got you.
they have a right and they have access. And the conflict when it
What?
came to him is like, would you let Jonah Hill say the word?
I don't even. Who's
Right.
that? Who's you said who?
Hell
Jonah
no,
Hill,
Jonah Hill.
I don't even know who
Yeah,
that is.
he a
the
comedian,
actor, the
actor,
comedian that
comedian.
comes from the
Super
movies,
bad.
super
Yeah,
bad and
he
all
used
of
to be
that.
chubby.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
even know. I don't even watch movies like that. I don't even know who that
But
is.
what if
Right.
Lyle Cohen came on Drink Champs one day? He was just throwing it around, right?
Right,
There
right.
would be a level of uncomfortability, right?
Right.
And it is not because of his race, because he's olive. People don't know what he is. They
Right.
identify him through his ethnicity. So that's where
Gotcha.
it's weird. If you remove the veneer of homie in Memphis, if you remove his pitly because he don't identify with that, only when advantageous. They have the charging documents to show what he said when he first came in his interview with Peter Rosenberg. He was clear. He was like, "Yo, I'm part of the Six Guard contingency." You know what I'm saying? And that's what I
Mm,
represent. I was raised as such. I was trained as such. I'm programmed as such. I know the protocols of such. I'm moving as
Right.
such. And he's
mm.
like, "Yo, we got the key to the city for you. We about to open the door and let you in because you a real one. You passed the test," he said.
Passed the test.
You
Right.
passed the test. And
He
this
wasn't
before he
no
even got
poser.
started. They
Right.
had that conversation. And this is what we was reporting on since 2008 and 2009 when we found out about him. Because they said he's the new religion. I said, how, Sway? Do you see
Right.
what they doing here? He's a Scorpio. That means he's going straight for the ladies. It's a wrap. So I'm like, okay, this is how they're gonna manipulate the brainwaves because the materialism was already set in place. The femininity in hip hop was already mandated by the culture, which became metrosexual and overtly expressive in six guard energy or six pointed energy by Puff and Big, who brought in the lower form of six guard energy through Catholicism, specifically through that same Jesus piece that I'm telling you about, that you telling me that Beanie Siegel said that Jay-Z was utilizing to conjure Big because what? He consecrated that piece. And he consecrated the ideology that goes along with that piece of people who believe that their God is white will destroy their own people for $1
Mm.
because they don't see the value in them.
Red, you want to answer that real quick before we get to the next one?
Um, kind of like what Blue said.
Yeah,
I would
gotcha.
be. Yeah. I'm a New Yorker, bro. You
Yeah,
already
yeah.
like.
I grew up
Y'all not
around a
from New
bunch.
York, and y'all don't know what it is. But I'm a New York. I would not get on this internet and start hummer stunting for y'all and not keep it 1,000. Like Puerto Ricans that we grew up with, they say nigga. You know what I mean? And I don't have no problem with that because that's where we from. Bottom line,
Yeah,
like that shit don't bother me. They not saying
yeah.
ER, they saying my nigga this, my nigga that. And these is Puerto Ricans who get down dirty with us. They all, you know what I mean? We done shared quarter waters together, chicken
And
wings,
yeah,
fried rice.
that's
Like,
the other thing. And I guess from New Yorkers, we have that perspective. It's like y'all got the wrong concept of friends. we got allies. We got relationship with certain groups and ethnicities because they put in work in a particular field that we know that
That's a
they good
fact.
for, and all of that stuff is not for the blogs. So it's like y'all talking about like the neighbors that you can go and get it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there is culture and ethnicity. You learn so much about them as a people by being in their proximity, but you also be niggering with them doing nigger shit.
Let, let me ask y'all this to move on, because I want to get some questions from the
Yeah.
people in a little while. Why, we're watching pretty much everybody who's beefing in this rap beef, hip hop beef, whatever you want to call it, is over 35. I think Drake born in 86, Kendrick born in 87, Ross in his 40s, Future in his 40s. I think the youngest person is actually Young Metro. He's 30. And he's the producer. He's not even a rapper. But young Kanye's about 45, 46.
Yeah.
These are all, every one of them are superstars.
Yes.
Why aren't there's no 20-something-year-old superstars, it seems. Why can't they're not, the machine isn't pumping out superstars like they used to. Why can't the machine?
Well,
I think they
remember,
tried desperately
yeah.
with Ice Spice. Hold on, Blue, come down, Blue. They tried desperately with Ice Spice. I don't think it worked the way it didn't work the way they wanted it to work, but they can't pump out superstars, whether it's pop, hip hop, any genre. It's hard for them to pump them out. Why is that? We got the 40-year-olds still holding it down, stopping the world.
Yeah.
We fail to realize that they wiped out a whole pantheon of them.
Explain that, Blue. What do you mean? Explain that, my brother. What do you mean?
The drill.
A whole pantheon.
Red, feel free. We could go Ray and Ghost with this. You know what I'm saying? Or Thousand Jada. There was a whole laundry list of littles and youngs that got wiped out. Like 200 plus of them got killed. So the dudes who would be young and under 30, even the artists that will position younger rappers to be pinnacle players, because the youngsters have to get the direction from an OG to come up. You're just not going to be able to break through the ceiling these days and touch that level of bread. It's just not happening like that no more. They're really building out a hierarchy because they're showing you, even with the Diddy situation, that's the there's a pinnacle to this. There's a top to the pyramid, and then there's layers. The head has fallen, has it not?
Right.
So is there not a vacuum?
Right.
So what does this say about nature?
Nature, what, it fills up the vacuum or
Fills
something?
all vacuum.
Yeah.
So what are we seeing right now?
Right.
Are we not seeing a reshuffling, a reshaping, and a restructuring? And it happens from the tiers based on seniority of the people who were closest to, quote unquote, the pinnacle of the top. Now they're moving out the two main pillars of what that represent, both of them with the initials of SC. One by one, those pillars are falling. Those are the gatekeepers. They're held up. The illusion of this quote unquote industry from the corporate perspective of it, where they became the two billionaires. There's the big three in hip hop. There's three of them. Who are the three Bs? Who are the big three in hip hop in terms of sitting at the
Dre.
pinnacle, right?
It was Dre, Jay, and Diddy.
Right. So expect to see him in the mix very soon as well, playing a pinnacle role because this is his artist, right? This is his artist in the mix, jockeying and vying now for position. So he's going to strategically put Dre in position to, honorarily receive the throne once these other two are dethroned. You feel
Right.
me? So, yeah.
What this conflict is also showing me, Blue, is that since the rise of Drake in 2010, there's been that's a definable era, right? So that era from 2010 to where we are right now in 24, it's been pure Drake dominance from his sound to all of the different collaborations and things of that nature. Like you said earlier, a lot of the young ones, we got Pop Smoke, We got Triple X and Tentacion, these were the messianic ones.
It was the one.
They were the ones that were supposed to usher in Mac Miller as for his for his demographics and whatnot. A lot of the younger ones, unfortunately, who had that star potential and who had a very strong messianic force. Go ahead.
Yeah, even King Vaughn. Yeah,
King Vaughn, where he was bringing in and whatnot. When they all got taken out, Drakeo, the ruler, I mean, there's literally 200. Some of them are unknown, some of them are like local, but in the year 2020, literally 200 plus got murked, right?
Yeah.
Car crashes, overdoses, but most of them was shots. So
right, Juice WRLD,
right? The potential
he would have been leading the pack. Yeah,
he would have been leading a lot of